It's starting to really look like the PlayStation 5 is going to be more expensive than Sony originally wanted. And if you want to get your hands on the PlayStation 5 this holiday, you better pre-order day one because they are going to be in very limited supply. And I wonder if Xbox Series X can take advantage of this entire situation. Let's talk about it. What is going on, everybody? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everyone's having a great day, and if you could do me a big favor, can you hit that like and subscribe button for me? I would greatly appreciate it. So Bloomberg has written another article about the price of the PlayStation 5. You may recall a couple months ago, they talked about how Sony was having a tough time getting the pricing down because of scarcity and rising costs of certain components, and that they were kind of stuck in this middle space of, do we price the PlayStation 5 at $400 and take a loss, or do we price it at $500, kind of break even, but then have the system go toe-to-toe with the more powerful Xbox Series X? And judging from this article, they are saying that the price of the PlayStation 5 is anywhere between $500 to $550, and that Sony is telling its suppliers to actually make fewer PS5 consoles for launch than they did with the PlayStation 4. So Bloomberg writes, the Tokyo-based tech giant is limiting its initial production run in part because it expects the PS5's ambitious specs to weigh on demand by leading to a high price at launch, and that the company has told its assembly partners it would make 5 to 6 million units of the PS5 in the fiscal year ending March 2021, according to other people involved in the machine supply chain. And when Sony released the PlayStation 4 in November 2013, it sold 7.5 million units in its first 2 quarters. So what does this limited supply mean for you? Well, if you want the system day one, if you need to have it, you absolutely have to jump on the pre-orders immediately if what Bloomberg is reporting here is true. It seems that Sony is going to produce far fewer PlayStation 5 units, anywhere between 1.5 million to 2.5 million, which means the allocations across the world will be less than what they were for last generation. Less consoles allocated to North America, less consoles allocated to Europe, Japan. So people won't be able to get the PlayStation 5, which means for those of you that do, there definitely will be scalpers out there who will take advantage of the short supply, much like they did with the Nintendo Switch, buy multiples, and then try to resell them on eBay for a massive profit. Now, if the PlayStation 5 is indeed in limited quantities this holiday, then that could be a big advantage to Xbox Series X. Most gamers I know are impatient. They need to buy the brand new games immediately. Resident Evil 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, they don't like waiting for stuff. They want to be a part of the conversation. And if there aren't that many PlayStation 5s out there, it's gonna mean someone who wants it isn't going to be able to get it. And that's where a ton of Xbox Series X stocks will come in handy, because some of those people who will miss out on the PlayStation 5 will want to play the next-gen games, the new Call of Duties, the new Batman, the new Assassin's Creed, Fable, Halo, etc., all the brand new games they're going to be launching with these consoles. And if it takes some time for Sony to actually replenish stock, some of those people might decide to go with Xbox. And while the PlayStation 5 limited launch is certainly a big topic, the most serious aspect of this article is the PlayStation 5 price. Now, the next generation price of a console, in my opinion, is the most important thing to it. The reason why the Xbox One failed was largely because it was way more expensive than the PlayStation 4. And for a while, most people thought the PlayStation 5 would copy what worked so well with the PlayStation 4, which was that $400 price point. But it's looking more and more likely that the PlayStation 5 is going to be $100 more expensive than the PlayStation 4 and come in at $500. Bloomberg says the PlayStation 5's loftier price tag may also deter initial take-up. Game developers who've been creating titles for the next PlayStation anticipate its price to be in the region of $500 to $549, and Bloomberg's intelligence Matthew Kannerman points to increased component costs, pushing up the price required for Sony to break even. Sony has struggled with this price setting decisions for the PS5 because of scarce components. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think Sony set out to make a $500 console. I think originally they had their eyes set at $400, but pricing of these components and the scarcity and the different manufacturers and suppliers fighting over them raised the costs of this system to the point where Sony is looking at breaking even at $500 rather than actually taking a huge loss at $400. But this time, going against the Xbox Series X, while PlayStation may have the better exclusive lineup, the system on paper is nowhere near as powerful as the Xbox Series X, and that's going to work in favor of Microsoft before you even factor in the rumored cheaper next-gen console that Xbox might be unveiling here in the next couple months, the Xbox Series S. The PlayStation 5 being $500 and the same price as Xbox Series X is probably the best case scenario that Microsoft could ever imagine. This time, Xbox has the superior console, but at the same time, they also have a cheaper console. Imagine Xbox Series X coming in at $300 in this economy, and Microsoft is coming at Sony from a position of power and price. I know some might think this is all horrible news for the PlayStation 5 and Sony, but I really don't think so. The higher price will definitely have an impact in reaching the long-term goals that the PlayStation 4 has set, selling 110 million consoles. Maybe the PS5 doesn't reach that target, and it's certainly going to sell less at the beginning than the PlayStation 4 did, but let's be honest with ourselves. The PlayStation 5 is going to sell out immediately, and it's probably going to be sold out for months until Sony can get the production costs under control. People love PlayStation. It's a huge brand with some really amazing exclusives and quality third-party support. So as long as Sony doesn't make a PS5 that has overheating issues and their first party doesn't put out horrible exclusives, I'm sure that PlayStation 5 will once again be the market leader, but Microsoft is right there looking to pounce on any mistakes that Sony does make. I expect Microsoft and Xbox Series X to regain some of the market share they lost this generation, and I'm sure that Microsoft is salivating at the idea of advertising the Series X at the same price as the PlayStation 5. It's going to be really interesting to see how all this shakes out at the end of the year. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, tell a friend about the channel, and share this video out on social media. And if you want to be notified immediately when I drop new videos, make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.